Alright, good afternoon. Welcome to the New York session. I hope you're doing well. It's a new week. I apologize, last Friday I was not here. I actually had to go and pick my cousin from uni. He completed university and I had to go and pick him up and bring him home. So that's why I was not able to do any live session on Friday. But here we are on Monday, looking at the dollar index. Now, from what happened on Friday and today so far, it's kind of two ways, where based on the weekly it closed below this low, so we should expect price to go down, but we also have this down candle here that acted as resistance and rejected, so we might probably stay in a consolidation till end of the month. So we might be staying inside this range, in this high low. Hence, maybe price might pause, might not continue going up, it might pause and then come back down, or it can go and take out this high and still come back down, because this high to this low, that's the last impulse leg. Okay, so ideally this is still a downtrend, which is basically that's the idea. We're still in a downtrend. Initially I was anticipating them to go and break the high and continue going up, but that didn't happen with the rejection. So as it stands, my bias is sideways to downside, and today being Monday, I want to see how the New York session is going to trade. Okay, I want to see how the New York session is going to trade. Because it's Monday and it's the last week of the month as well, so a lot of things can happen. Hence, I want to take it slow for this starting of the week. Therefore, I want Monday to finish, and then I'll see what I'll do with price. The economic calendar also shows that there's a rate announcement coming in on Wednesday, so that can also set the stage for what is going to happen in August. On Friday we have non-farm payroll, NFP, so this week is actually loaded. Therefore, my advice, take it slow. Don't, if possible, probably paper trade. Okay, paper trade. And the reason why I say this is because NFP and rate announcement, they can take price up and down without going anywhere. Okay, so that's why I suggest taking paper trade for this week, and maybe next week you can go in and start doing stuff. Now on euro, you can see we had a huge drop. Last Friday I was expecting them to, Thursday, the last time we met, I was expecting them to go to 1.182. It went just for that previous week high and then rejected. I had a fair value gap here, which I highlighted, it came there, rejected. But as it stands, like I said, based on the higher time frame, we're supposed to continue going up. Okay, so either up or consolidation. That is the way forward for this, both this and the British, no, not the British pound, the dollar index. So the dollar index and euro, I think is a mirror. So I'll start looking for what the New York session is gonna do. If we give any fair value gap during the New York session, maybe that can offer a like a scalp, and then you'll be happy with that. So during the New York session, if we get a fair value gap move to the upside, because we've already dropped for the day, I don't think we might continue going down. So a fair value gap drop will be a nice thing for price to use. Sorry, a fair value gap to the upside will be a nice thing for price to use. On the weekly, right, we've closed above previous week high. Okay, so this starting the week and going down, that's a good thing. So watch, I think, let me highlight this area and then search for the level price is likely. So we have this level here. We also have these two fair value gaps, which I'm gonna inspect and see. Which one has a time based gap. I think the first one has a time based gap to here. So watch the New York session. If we get a fair value gap to the upside on the M15, that can be a very good thing. Maybe trade to this New York session on Friday. Okay, so a fair value gap on the M15 between 2 and 5. You can take your cash out here. Yeah. British pound kind of showing a bit of strength. Last Friday, Thursday, I was looking for them to pull back and go up, take out its high, but that didn't happen. I was acquired a fall, which everything that I was expecting on this pair was wiped away. And on the weekly, we ended up rejecting the whole week. Okay. So based on that, it does not change the higher time frame direction because this down candle is still there. The only problem is they've created a gap over here, and based on that gap, price can, go down. But at the same time, this gap is holding. So similar to euro, we have price potentially gonna stay in here. So it's either we trade through this or we trade through that. The rest is just gonna consolidate. Okay. So this week I'll be patient with the British pound. I'll wait and see what it's gonna do today, because so far it's trying to reject Friday low, and we've not got any kind of imbalance, a big move yet. So I'll wait for more data on this, and then we see what we do with it. Euro pound, we felt like never before. This is a previous year high. Let me go to the yearly. That's a previous year high. We came above it one here. Where is it? Okay. 2024 high, January. so 2024 high here. Okay, we ran it, we came down, and then we come back above it again, and then we are rejecting. Let's see how today is gonna close, because today's closure, probably they might extend it and trade below this candle's low, or if we stay like this, then they are likely gonna have this low and probably continue going lower, because this will look like a very nice market maker sell model. If you can see, right? So this down candle will be the last area of distribution accumulation with today's candle. If it can close below that fair value gap, then they will start rebalancing some of these gaps. It can be a continuation where they can come and take out this low as OTE and then resume going higher. So they can come below this low as OTE and continue going. But all that I'm saying is possible if we break this down candle. Okay, it's only possible if we break that down candle, hence if we break the down candle, then yes, it's possible for us to start moving lower, and the British pound will be a good pair to be looking for trade ideas. Or I'm looking at GBP AUD for that, because GBP AUD should have gone up from here, but they've sent it down one more time to take out this low, right? And it's rejecting so far. So if we can close like this, or if we close below this low, then pound Aussie is going to be the best pair, because they've moved down with this up candle, with the down, and then we are rejecting. Okay, so I'm bringing this one up because that's the only pair that I like. I don't like GBP and ZT because the price action is not great. Okay, and then GBP card, I've not even looked at it for a very long time. It seems I had a trade idea over here, but yeah, that is also not looking good. GBP JPY, that is also not looking good. Okay, so the only good pair is GBP AUD, which, as you can see, they've taken out a low and rejected. So that would be the best pair to look at. So that's Euro Pound for you, and you know, you can trade the Euro Pound itself as well if you want to. Dollar Yen, similar to the dollar, they've traded inside this gap last week and rejected the previous week low, so they are likely gonna take out this high. Okay, they're gonna go for this high probability that it will do that. I don't recommend buying it, simply because they've already moved away since the market opened. Okay, it's not far away, and you know, I could be wrong and they can break it down and go lower. Hence, do not chase a buy on this. But if you're already in a buy, then that previous week high is possible as a draw on liquidity. Gold. So gold, I am surprised, very much surprised with what has happened, because on Thursday I was expecting them to react from this gap and continue going higher. So that's why I had my fib, possibly here, OTE, reject and go higher, especially during the New York session when they gave this, I was what's the word? I was convinced that they were gonna go up from here. Okay, so I actually bought it, and then it ended up stopping me out. Okay, so as it stands, I would like to wait till end of today and see how the day will end. Do we go down or do we reject? Because I'm looking at this H4 order block where we took out a previous low here from the weekly perspective. Let me remove what it's doing. From the weekly perspective, we just need to take out a low, previous week low, which we have. Because we took out a high, we need to take out a low, which we have. But are they going to extend it to take out this as well? That is something that I'll need to confirm by the end of today. So how today ends can give me more ideas as to whether that's going to happen or not. Logically speaking, if I was to apply just logic, then yes, because they've traded through this fair value gap and created this one, so yes, it can take it out. But from a high time frame perspective, it's still bullish. Okay, it's still bullish. The last down candles here, we've been respecting it for quite a while now. So it's either they want to stay in that long consolidation which started in April, and they've not gone anywhere since then. But this is a very strong order block, so if we lose that, then that's when I'll start looking for lower prices. If not, we just have to play with what we have over here, and to play with it, maybe just waiting for today to give us more information would be the best idea. Crude oil. So with crude oil, last week I was expecting them to attack this low. That did not happen. They came close to it, rejected, went up, and then on Friday we had another big rejection again, which this high to this low, that was a pullback to go lower. And when the market opened today, I was expecting that continuation where we reject, we go lower and attack this low, but it seems they're screaming higher. Now I want to see how we're going to trade here, this New York session order block, because just above it is sitting right another one. So today being the first day of the week, are they going to run the previous week high into that and then fall, or are they just going to fall? Whichever one comes first, I'm looking for a red candle, an order block to form, and then I'll look to sell short. So whether they form it here or they form it there, it doesn't really matter. I just want one to form. So I'm kind of patiently waiting to see if we're gonna reject from here or there, and I'll look for my sell. First to attack previous week low is equal low, and then the 64 level, and then finally ES. So ES last Friday, was it Friday? No, Thursday. I bought it on Thursday. Yeah, I bought it on Thursday, somewhere in here. I think that's when I spoke about if we form a down candle with an immediate close, then buy it. So that's the one that I bought on Thursday, and then price never looked back. I didn't do anything on Friday because Friday I was not even here. So I bought this on Thursday. After our session, I spoke about if we form a down candle with an immediate close, then buy, and that's exactly what I did. And like I mentioned, the target is still the 6535 level. So you can hold on to it because our target is very far. Oh, I am holding on to it. You can wait for this New York session and you can get an entry. So this New York session, I'm expecting price to continue going up. So the same thing, wait for New York session, 15 minutes down candle, price close above, then you buy for the continuation to the upside. Okay, let's go over to the cryptocurrencies. So with the cryptos, we've had the Bitcoin drop into the gap as we were expecting. So the weekly gap that I wanted to see them drop into, they did. What day did that happen? Friday. So on Friday they dipped into it and then started rejecting. That is exactly what we wanted to see for the continuation to the upside. So now that they've done that and we've had this candle close, ideally it should have been this one to close above it, but it's all fine. At least they've closed above the down candle. So I'm expecting now a continuation to the upside. So no more movement to the downside anymore. Okay, we rejected previous week low. This candle is now going to be taken on the upside. So expect a continuation to the upside. Okay. And with that means all the other cryptos are going to continue going higher. We spoke about Ethereum going for this equal high and this gap or this order block acting as resistance. You can see how nice the body respected that. Right? They never closed below it. So expect that continuation. Solana, let's go to a weekly, let's see. Yeah, Solana should probably also go up, but I'm a little bit concerned about this move here. They might probably hold Solana for a little bit because of this up candle with the fair value gap. So if you are buying Solana, be a little bit careful because of this price action here. Even though long term I think they're gonna go to 220, but you might have to hold for some time because it's probably gonna struggle before it gets there. XRP also dropped down into this fair value gap. And now I think on Thursday we spoke about price going above this and potentially going higher. It pulled back. This one, it came back into it and then now rejecting. So from the daily perspective, we can also go up, similar to Solana. Similar to Solana, I'm a little bit worried about this gap that has been created. It's not looking good, but ultimately from the weekly perspective, we are potentially gonna go up. Now that I'm here, I think maybe they might come for the previous week low again before doing that. Preferably not, okay, because it's an inside candle, so the probability of them coming for the previous week low is high, but I'll prefer it doesn't because they've already done the damage and we have this auto block with this fair value gap. So, but it's not outside the realm of possibility for them to do this. Okay, so again, let's wait and see how today is gonna close. Hype, we've dipped into the gap. We're expecting higher prices. I think this is also a good one. It's in line with what the Bitcoin is doing. So I think same thing. Thursday we talked about this up candle. If we break it, then we're gonna go higher. It hasn't broken it fully yet because all the candles have respected that up candle. So maybe a close above it is what is needed for price to expand higher. So be patient and let price close above it. Even though they've gone above this particular one here, I'd prefer this red one. Okay, I prefer that red one. And on the daily, that red one is this down candles high. Okay, so that's why I prefer that one. AI16, another one that I'm a little bit concerned, the fact that they've gone through that second gap and created a gap on the other side. We've gone through this one, then created that and that. So I'm a little bit concerned for this. Hence, on the weekly, we need to get a big push. We seriously need a big push to trade above that high before we can continue going up. If not, then we might come back for these lows. Okay. Now, if it does, that's not a bad thing. It's actually giving more discount. Okay. If it does, it's not a bad thing. It's giving more discount. So if you see it dropping for new buyers, it's a good thing, because it's giving opportunity for you to be able to get in. Then finally, Chachki. So Chachki has been struggling to move higher, but same thing with the Bitcoin. Is respecting the gap, and I think on Friday on Thursday I spoke about here that this candle, they should use that to go up. Came back down, took it out, broke up, and now we are going higher. And from the daily perspective, watch this up candle. In my opinion, it should go up, but watch the up candle, because that can cause a bit of a resistance. Okay, but if we can push through that, then the upside objectives that I've given is going to be a target. Until then, pay attention to this up candle, because we have a gap here and that candle, so we might come back down. Okay, so with that said, let me go back to the currencies and show the trade ideas that I think might be good for today. So watch ES for a potential long today. Watch crude oil for potential short today, and pretty much that's it. And then the other ones that I spoke about, which is GBP AUD. Watch GBP AUD for potential long. Euro pound, if we can close bearish as we are on a daily, that can also give us a high probability this down candle is going to be broken, and you can start looking for, again, potential shorts to go down. Right, that's all I have for you for today. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you same time tomorrow for another session. Take care.